5 U.S. Navy bombers take off on a routine training run after World War II and vanish. Hours later, a rescue plane sent to find them disappears too. Radio calls speak of failing compasses, strange seas, and a sky turning hostile. Was it the Bermuda Triangle or a tragic chain of human errors? Stay with me. I'm about to share exactly what changed, what's debated, and why this mystery still matters. Here's where we're going. The mission plan, the moment confusion began, the radio transcripts that raised the hair on your neck, the rescue that never returned, the investigations, the myths, and the most convincing explanations. At the end, I'll show you what we can learn from Flight 19 today. Please like and subscribe.
2 in the afternoon. The Avengers lift off in formation, fuel for about 5 hours, cruising east toward a shallow reef used as a visual checkpoint. The plan is simple: reach the shoals, turn north, then southwest home. Early reports suggest all systems normal. Students practice dead reckoning, calculating position by speed, time, and heading. It's a skill that demands a steady compass and a reliable clock. If either drifts, so does your world. Not long after the first turn, radio chatter hints at trouble. The leader suspects both compasses are acting up. Landmarks don't look right. Is the squadron over the Bahamas or the Florida Keys? Over water, with scattered squalls, islands can look uncanny, low, flat, and deceptively similar. If you misidentify the chain, every heading you choose will carry you farther from safety. Here's the critical fork in the road. Believing they're over the Keys south of Florida, the leader orders a course northeast to reach the mainland. But if they're actually east of Florida over the Bahamas, turning northeast pushes them farther out to sea. Wingmen voice doubt. Some radio operators ashore urge a simple fix: turn due west, 270 degrees, and keep going until you hit the coast. The transmissions crackle with interference. The hierarchy holds. The formation follows the leader. Afternoon becomes evening. Winter weather over the Atlantic isn't violent, but it's treacherous. Patchy rain, lowering cloud, haze that erases the line between ocean and sky. Pilots describe seas that look white, a kind of visual whiteout over water. With daylight fading, the chance of visually correcting a navigation error collapses. Fuel burns down. Nerves tighten. Shore stations try to get bearings from the bomber's transmissions, but the squadron isn't always on the frequency that direction-finding stations need. Static and overlapping chatter make it worse. At least one tower pleads with the pilots to switch channels for a homing fix. In the confusion, the change doesn't stick. A simple frequency switch, clean signal, and a turn west might have ended the story right here. Instead, minutes slip away. As sunset bleeds into night, the leader tries to keep the formation together. He talks about flying east, then north, then west. Wingmen report low fuel. Some suggest breaking off to head their own 270-degree course. One or two likely do, because later faint calls hint that at least a couple of planes may have turned independently. For the others, cohesion becomes a trap. Staying together preserves order, but commits all to the same mistake. By early evening, calculations say the Avengers are close to empty. Ditching a TBM at night in choppy seas is brutal. The aircraft's heavy engine can wrench the nose under in seconds. Without a precise position, rescue ships don't know where to look. If you manage to inflate a life raft in the dark, cold water, wind, and waves can scatter survivors long before help arrives. This is the moment where the myth of the triangle thrives. 5 aircraft, 1 formation, and then silence. The Navy launches a massive search. Among the aircraft, a PBM Mariner flying boat with 13 men aboard. It takes off at night and never checks in again. A merchant ship reports seeing an explosion over the water and smelling fuel right along the Mariner's route. Mariners were nicknamed flying gas tanks for a reason. A fuel vapor leak plus an ignition source could mean a mid-air blast. Within hours, the loss of a rescue craft becomes Exhibit B in the legend. For days, ships and planes comb the Atlantic. No confirmed debris from the Avengers. Oil slicks and minor finds lead nowhere. The ocean is vast, currents are strong, and wooden or fabric items sink or disperse quickly. Without GPS or modern beacons, a crash site can be a needle in a shifting haystack. Families hope. The Navy writes letters. Newspapers print the mystery. A peacetime nation looks for meaning in the randomness of the sea. The Navy's inquiry wrestles with conflicting reports. Early drafts lean toward pilot disorientation and navigation error. Later summaries hedge, noting the possibility of faulty instruments, poor radio discipline, and weather. Over the years, bits of evidence surface. Avengers found off Florida that turn out to be from other incidents, logs that clarify timelines, debunkings of dramatic quotes that never actually appeared in the official transcripts. What remains consistent? A pattern of errors under pressure, not a supernatural vacuum. Picture the final minutes. Engines sputter. Gauges hover on empty. A leader weighing the burden of command while the horizon vanishes. Crews tightening life vests. A wingman glancing left, seeing his friend's cockpit lit for a heartbeat, then darkness. No grand villain, no portal in the sea, just the oldest adversary of aviators. Uncertainty, amplified by time, weather, and the human need for one voice to follow when fear grows loud. So what's solid? Flight 19 likely strayed east over the Bahamas, not south over the Keys. Attempts to correct a misidentified position took them farther offshore. Radio coordination failed at critical moments. Weather and darkness erased visual cues. Fuel ran out. The rescue mariner probably suffered a mid-air explosion tragic, but explainable, independent of the Avengers' fate. What we still don't have is a confirmed wreck site for the 5 bombers, which keeps the door open for speculation. Flight 19 isn't just a triangle tale, it's a lesson. Small decisions cascade. Procedures matter. Frequencies, headings, cross-checks, the courage to question a mistaken call, and the humility to turn west and trust the compass you still have. The mystery endures because the ocean kept its secrets. The meaning endures because those secrets can teach us how not to lose the next 5 aircraft. If you want a companion episode that maps every radio call to an exact timeline and heading, comment Map IT. If you want a deep dive on the Rescue Mariner and the explosion reports, comment Rescue. And if you have a relative connected to Flight 19, share what you know, because sometimes history moves forward on a single detail someone kept in a drawer.